Oh, sorry about that. I got it. 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 Welcome to the show. You're probably wondering why we're doing the show right now. I mean, being that it's almost 4:30, 4:30 p.m. And as you know, we usually do this show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But we're changing a lot around here, and not to mention, this is one of the few and last episodes of this particular show, my show, William versus the World. Well, it's true. All good things must come to an end. But the good news is we are coming out with a bigger, bolder, better, badass podcast. That's a lot of B's.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Hans says it's almost 4:20, so
Hey, smoke up. Woo.
that settles that.
There you go.
Oh shit, what up, Craig? What's going on? What's going on with y'all? So yeah, as you guys know, this has been, I don't know what episode this is. I'm sure Hans can tell us in the chat.
I also have it written down.
What is it?
128.
This is episode 128?
Yeah.
This is episode 128.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it back.
Well, good. Welcome to the celebration. However, the truth is we are going to retire this podcast. And the good news is we're not going to change any days. We're not going to change any times or formats. You guys will be able to catch our new podcast at the same time.
Woo.
Yep. Our new podcast, I think, is going to be called The Sepsis Show.
Yes.
I think that's what it's called.
We can make a logo.
We do. We do. Hey, what's up, Hans? People are talking to you in the chat. If you're a first-time watcher and you're kind of clueless about what we're doing here, a huge way that you could help us here at the podcast and as a band is just sharing the live feed or sharing the podcast, sharing our pictures, our posts, listening to and sharing our music. That is the best way to help us. Some people might think that just giving artists money or buying tickets or stuff like that stuff's good. But one powerful thing that you can do is just simply share the feed or share the music. Share our music with a friend. It was really cool. We went to the dispensary today. I'm not going to say where. But we went to the dispensary today, and they were playing some amazing female-fronted metal.
Oh yeah, some Epica.
Yes, I said, what are you listening to? And the guy said, actually, I got it wrong. So I thought it was Nightwish.
Oh.
So I said to the guy at the door, I said, what are you listening to, Nightwish? And he goes, nah, man, this is Epica. And I said, oh, cool. Oh, you know, forgive me. I said, that's dope, though, man. That's awesome. I like a couple Epica songs myself. And then I said, Lexi, we should give him a sticker, not a ticket. That'd have been rude.
Yeah.
Here's a ticket. Fuck you. No. That's not very nice.
No.
No, what I meant to say is sticker. My English has been all over the place. So much distortion.
Too much music.
Too much music. So this guy was really cool. And he had arms like a tank cannon. I think he was the security guy. Which I worried about because I didn't know if we would have a shirt in the trunk that would fit this guy. But he says, hey, I have some other really cool music in my playlist. At which point, he pulled up a Sepsis song and starts blaring Black Light Invasion in the parking lot.
Best moment ever.
I said, man, that's the coolest thing in the world. So the guy at the door of the dispensary actually had our band already like in queue in his playlist. I just thought that was really cool. We were not prepared for it. It was awesome. And of course, and then there's me like trying to be cool. Like, hey, I'm William. I play guitar for the band. And he's like, I know. I'm a fan of you guys. I fuck with y'all. I'm like, really?
Cool.
Thanks,
He's
man.
the coolest.
You are the coolest motherfucker. And he's got a cool job too. So I didn't get his name because I was too excited. It's a human flaw. But yeah, I appreciate you, whoever you are. Thank you so much for listening to our little band.
You're the best.
You are the best.
Badass.
Who's getting jiggy with it? Yo, what up, Cool Beans? What's going on?
Who's getting jiggy?
First of all, let's give a shout out to y'all, man. Cool Beans is here.
Ooh.
The Craven 420 is here, and my good friend Hans Smith.
Hans, you're the shit.
He is. If you guys didn't know, you guys are probably wondering what the fuck this show is about already. If you've shared it, you don't know why you have, but I'm ready to. I'm prepared to tell you. We're actually a hard rock and heavy metal band. Yes, you can be two of the same thing at the same time. We are a heavy metal and a hard rock band from Manchester, New Hampshire. But music isn't our hobby or just a dream for us to achieve later on. Sepsis is our real life and current and long-term commitment. We also do podcasts, live streams. Melissa does some gaming. We do some modeling. Lex, what else do we do?
Singing, acting, composing.
We do a lot of stuff. Yeah. Oh my God, look at this. Brother Malcolm Wood is in the building.
Why, hello.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm Wood from the Legion of Solace. We got to give him some music. Bring it in here.
Yeah.
Anytime we have one of our proud sponsors or good friends come in here, they get the music. And
That's
everybody
okay.
else gets the clap. Just kidding. Not that kind of clap. You know what I'm saying? Anything
The
that...
good kind.
Right. The good kind of music.
Yeah.
So, like the clap, my music shouldn't be taken too seriously. My podcasts, my music shouldn't be taken too seriously. Most of our music is focused on fun. Most of our music is focused on personal enrichment, mindfulness, awareness, education, emotional growth, and self-esteem. That's what we make music about.
It's awesome.
I myself and the band, we don't strive to be flawless or pitch perfect. We're not flawless musicians. We are not law-abiding or industry professionals or people, just for the record. We're just people that like playing music. Our music, our lyrics, our message, our music is a lot about freedom. It's about creative people calling out destructive people. And it's also about sharing the spotlight, Lexi. Our music is about intellectual honesty and growth.
Mm-hmm.
Not just for me, but for the species. You know? Like, if you're not a person that's standing in a place that I want to be in the future, you cannot advertise or convince to me that the place that you're standing in is a place that others need to be. If you're not a future version of something or someone that I want to be, then I cannot accept advice from anyone that is less successful or mindful than myself. That's what this show's about. We don't want or desire to belong to any laws, any music scenes, any metal scenes, or any industries. Personally, I do what I want to do, and I say what I want when I want to. And that's what makes this band and me different than your favorite bands. Nobody controls what I say or do. Not all musicians, okay, are making music for the same goals. That's why I'm a different musician. We're not all making music for the same accomplishments. We're not on the same terms or conditions or definitions of success. Not all musicians on Spotify with the largest numbers or followers on Spotify, not all of them with the largest metrics and views and plays have ever sold one ticket to a concert. Not all of the largest artists found on streaming sites have a goal to be on stage. Just keep that in mind. Some people that are really successful in streaming music have absolutely no plans on doing a live performance. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Not everybody that's playing on stage wants to hit 1 million plays or 10,000 followers on Spotify or iTunes. Have you ever thought of that? So musicians make music for different reasons. That's probably one of the things that are most misunderstood about us. Anyway, not all musicians and artists and bands are possessed or beholden or held hostage to their fan base. How about that?
Real shit.
How about that? So how do you control musicians like that? How do you punish musicians that don't give a fuck?
You can't.
Oh, okay. It's important. That's the important thing we got to focus on. Most musicians make music because they plan on making it. But then there are other musicians that desire to play music, create the music, or just to make it the music. So some people have an idea of making it, and that comes with fortune and fame and popularity. And then there's other musicians who just make music. It's called making it. So sometimes you say, have you made it? What the fuck you mean? I'm making it. Because if you've ever made it, then that's past tense.
Because you're not continuing.
So I tend to think of what we do here more as a work in progress, not some flawless thing that we're trying to achieve where it's been made and finished and completed. That sounds a lot like the end to me.
Yeah.
Keep in mind also, not all musicians and bands make music to gain fans or attention or people please. Some musicians make music for therapy or to be part of something that's bigger than themselves, the individual.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to understand that Sepsis, us as a band, as a brand and a banner and club, we don't worship or promote torture devices. We don't support systems that bind. Civilizations and societies that practice beheadings, crucifixions, public humiliations, pedophilia, kidnapping, economic restraint, or institutional abuse. We don't respect systems or symbols of slavery. That's what this band is about. What do you think of that?
That's awesome.
All right. I don't know what you guys like to sing about. I know there's a lot of bands that sing about fortune and fame and pussy and beating people up and controlling people and scaring people and demons and dungeons and dragons. We got a lot of those bands that beat you up, scare the shit out of you, take your money. They're all gangsters. Nobody gives a fuck, right? Everybody's really pretty, right? And there's a lot of music already about that. Gods and demons and warriors and all of that. But that's what makes this band different. You see, Sepsis doesn't believe. What makes us different is we don't believe as a band that freedom and life requires a subscription to pain and to labor, or loyalty to work and punishment to achieve supremacy, immortality, or the American dream. That's what we make music about. What do you do? What the fuck you guys doing? What's your message? See, for me, it's always been fuck bigotry. I'm a black guy. I see a lot of what's going on in the world. So for me, it's always fuck ICE. I like my ice crushed.
Really
For
good.
me, for a black guy like me, it's always been fuck the police. That's what this band is about. For me, I've never been a good boy. It's always been fuck the government. Guys, I've always been black. I don't know if you noticed that. I've always been brown. I've always been an African American. Maybe it's news to some of you. I was brown before MTV Raps. I was brown before COVID-19. I was brown before Barack Obama. I was brown before and after. It's always been fuck the police for me. It's always been fuck racism. It's always been fuck sexism. It's always been hold people accountable. Fuck sexism, fuck prejudiced people, and it always will be. Let me know where I'm not welcome. In the heavy metal scene, am I not welcome? Let me know where I'm not welcome. Let me know the stores that you don't want me to shop at. Let me know the clubs that you don't want my band to book in. Let me know which water fountain that I'm not allowed to drink from in heavy metal. Put it on a big old billboard sign for me. Make it clear as day where I'm not welcome, so I won't spend my money with you. So I won't waste my time with you. Sepsis is one of the most unprofessional bands in the world, which means I'm the leader. I don't follow the rules, and I don't make music to make friends. I don't make music to make money. Request or require to be accepted by any scene or industry or by the police. What do you think about that? I don't secretly wish or hope that someday people that don't like me are going to wake up and be converted into people that do like me. I don't hope that someday that people that don't like my music right now, I don't hope that they have a change of heart and someday like my music, or they all of a sudden agree with me, or I don't hope that people like me or agree with me or like my music. That needs to be understood, because I don't think you've ever met anybody that makes art that feels that way. And that's what makes me and this band different. Sepsis isn't a side project, everybody. It's my life. For some people that are in bands, they're in a band and they make music. For me, it's not. This is something different. Even a church or a cult or something like that comes secondary to your life. Sepsis is my life. See that? So I don't know how dedicated you are to your projects or your hobbies or your bands or your music, whatever the fuck you do. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Sepsis isn't a side project for me. It's my life. My music, my art is only for people that like it, that actually like it. That's why I'm unprofessional. I consider myself one of the most unprofessional artists that were ever born, meaning I don't prioritize apps. I don't prioritize or cater to record labels. I don't give a fuck what law you're in, what side of the aisle you're on. I don't look up to any of that shit. I don't look up to banks. I don't look up to charts. I don't want attention from the media or symbols or an experience that's over playing music with me and my friends and being authentic. So I already have it. What I have and what I want to achieve in music, I'm making it, and I have it every day when I wake up. It's inside of me. It's not in an industry. It's not on a store shelf. You can't order it. What I have, you can't order from Amazon. What I have is precious and illegal and unrefined. You understand? I don't ask permission for what I have. What I have, I was born with as a birthright. Each and every Wednesday, we are learning and examining industry stories, news, technology, social media, independence, tips, tools, predictions, statistics, strategies, and digital market, advertising, and technology. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode and one of the last of William versus the World! What do you think, Lex?
I like it when you do
The William versus the World thing.
yeah.
Well, we're not gonna continue to just keep doing it. So this is it.
That's true.
Did you know we're coming out with new music?
Ooh.
More new music.
Let's go.
For the record, we come out with new music every couple months, but you may or may not know if you listen to music on Spotify, because we don't. People may not know this. We don't release music on Spotify anymore on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Somebody said, "Well, what happens to us that only listens to Spotify?"
Do you don't to listen to
I
the new song?
Yeah, I said the same thing.
There
That
you
that you don't hear the music.
Right.
That means that you like Spotify more than you do me. So go fucking hang out with Spotify then, pussy.
Keep giving them your membership.
Go over there. We're not asking you for fucking $100 subscription to Sepsis a year. Go over to Spotify and go listen to all the bands over there. But you ain't gonna hear us.
Just know that.
Yep. We can be found anywhere online for free. We just won't be on Spotify.
So tough luck.
I would rather play anywhere.
There.
I'll come. Yeah, that's right. We'll come to a set at your grandmother's house before we'll play on Spotify.
Yeah.
So we are coming out with new music. Of course, it'll be found everywhere but Spotify.
No
So
Spotify.
yeah, so head to your local, streaming drug dealer.
Not Spotify.
Just not Spotify. People are like, well, why would you release music on iTunes? They're just as bad. I don't care. We'll get to them later.
We're handling Spotify right now.
We got to do one thing at a time. Oh shit! My brother Rick's in here. Yo, Rick, what up? What's going on? I don't mean like one of those brothers that kind of lived at my house. I mean somebody that really, we lived in the same house every day. You know what I mean? The kind of brother that you play, Nintendo and share the same buttery controllers with. The same type of brothers that, you grow up, I'm not gonna tell that one. I'll leave that one out.
That's some brother shit.
Right. Can't talk about all of it.
Nah.
No, but for real, we all used to play. It was tough because at my house, it was really ghetto fabulous. Like we had some shit. Like we had Nintendo, but we had 3 good controllers and 1 broken one. So if you ranked in last in the gaming community, you had to use the broken controller. Same thing with microphones, because we always had a studio, turntable, shit like that. And, if you was the wackest rapper, you got the muffly microphone.
That's really setting a statement.
Yo, Rick never got the muffly microphone.
Hey!
But you know what I'm talking about? I love you too, homie.
Gang.
Wait. We used to tear it up, though. It's just like back in the day. We could only afford a certain amount of good microphones.
Mm-hmm.
So, there'd be 1 good microphone and then 2 rappers that get...
Some bummy stuff.
Okay, so let's jump into this, everybody, because we have to. I wind up talking all the time, and then we never do the articles.
Yeah, then we
and
do
then people
2 or 3, and then we're like, we're done.
See you
and
later.
then the rest.
Right,
And
and
everyone's like, what?
Right, and everybody's like, what the fuck happened to the show? So, You love Lamb of God. This is why I grabbed this for you.
Oh, word?
I grabbed this because I thought of you.
Ah.
You're a
Mm.
Lamb of God fan, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Chris Adler says he hasn't talked to his brother Willie since he got kicked out of Lamb of God. I mean, I don't know this English is accurate. It's an article.
Yeah.
Let's read it.
Okay.
Chris Adler says once again, he's opened up about his departure from Lamb of God, explaining that it was, quote, as big of a shock for him as it was for the fans, for him to be fired from what was considered to be his identity.
Oh, shit.
I can relate to that because, like, I am Sepsis. Like, there's people that have played with the band before. They work for Sepsis.
Yeah.
I am Sepsis
Yeah.
for life. I don't, you know what I mean?
You're here.
I'm a one gang dude. I don't gang hop. I don't play no. If I'm in something, I'm in it. Blood oath.
Right.
If I fuck with you and my friends that know me, people that are good friends with me, have been friends with me for 20, 25 years. And there's only one way that you get friends for 25 to 30 years, and that's if you can stay consistent. You know, you got to pay your motherfuckers back. You got to keep it real. You got to be.
100.
You got to wipe your feet, man. When you want a carpet, when you walk in somebody's house, you got to know what people expect of you.
Respect.
Right? It's mutual. You got to be you got to be safe. You got to be predictable. You got to be clear. People got to be able to see you coming.
Fasten it behind you.
How are they going to get behind you and support you if they don't know what the fuck you're doing? You can't ask people to love you and support you if they don't really know what you're doing. All right, anyway. See, I started to do it. I started to talk. I'm not going to talk. Lamb of God officially parted ways with the drummer back in July 2019. He was replaced by Art Cruz. I'm sure he's very talented, who has previously played with Prong in Winds of Plague and filled out for Adler on several Lamb of God tours in 18 and 19. Adler, who's played drums with a number of metal artists, including all of these fucking people. Can we get to it?
Let's get to the article. We don't need to know their credentials.
Here he goes. People, quote, people are interested in what the fuck happened. There was an incident in 2018 when I had a motorcycle accident on an island outside of Thailand that was really messed up my shoulder, but it was resolved quickly. I had a great surgeon who works for Indianapolis Colts who got me up and running. In 3 or 4 months, I had much motion and strength as before. It wasn't an issue. He continued, first of all, I'm doing great, but a long time to get to this point. Right around the time as I left, there was a lot of things going on. My mom was sick, all these other things. So he was going through a tough time. Right at the same time, in around 2003, I started noticing something with my right foot doing weird things when I didn't want it to be doing weird things. It wasn't too often, and it didn't mess up anything for a long time. Slowly, it got worse. Wow. Man, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. That's scary.
What the fuck?
In the shoulder?
Dude, no, and his foot started doing weird shit. Imagine that. We're on stage.
At the same time.
Bro, it's too much.
That's way too much.
That's scary. It's like
Yeah.
it's like neurological shit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, because now I'm going crazy. I'm imagining myself
in that position.
doing
and
that.
That is terrible.
I'm in the I'd have to replace myself. I love the
Yeah.
band so much, I'd replace myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever, like, if something terrible ever happened to me, I would hire another guitar player to take my place in Sepsis.
Yeah.
I really would.
That's the responsible thing to do. That's
Hey.
awful.
How you guys doing? Sorry, I'm not ignoring people. I just never read the chat. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of streamers that stream and they read the chat. I keep the stream on to keep it on, but I'm not much of a streamer. I'm more of a caster or broadcaster, so I never read the chat, but I'm reading it now, and I have to say thank you so much for your kindness and generosity, Katie Man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I like your attitude. Thank you. He said he likes our music, or they like our music. Thank you so much for listening to it. Most people don't give a shit.
We gotta keep it a bean.
Right. We are in one of the few metal bands who are absolutely clear and aware that people don't give a shit about local music. So anytime that anyone does, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for caring about local music. And if you do like our music, it should be a reminder to people that other local bands are good too. I know local bands don't want to plug other local bands, but we do that sort of thing. So if you do like our music, be encouraged to go check out other bands like us. You know, you might find something amazing. I read on your Facebook and you wrote that you're in Manchester. And it's the wrong Manchester? Oh, no. Why is that? Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, maybe someday we'll get a chance to go to another Manchester. I know there's a Manchester, Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin?
Is there?
Remember? Somebody
I
looked
think
that
so,
up.
yeah.
Hans looked that up.
I think so, yeah. That's so interesting. How
Oh,
every
man.
state copies each other.
Yeah, he said if they were in Manchester, UK, they would be able to watch us. You know, if we could go anywhere, people would be able to watch us. But the issue, the issue is we can't go anywhere. We don't have any money. And people don't want to pay musicians anymore because they think music is background noise. And we're having so much fun on stage that none of you need to pay us anymore. So guess what? We're going nowhere.
And the venues need the money to keep the lot open.
Yep. They can't even agree if they want audience members anymore.
Right.
I said, let's all bring 25 people, right? Now I got promoters in the fucking comment section that are telling me that it doesn't matter if bands bring people or not.
Y'all are so backwards.
Come on, we got it. If I don't continue this, we're gonna go crazy. This is gonna take a turn. Look, this sounds terrifying.
Yeah, for real.
Adler went on to say that it took him a long time to be willing to publicly discuss the battle with musicians' dystonia, which is described as a task-specific movement disorder causing involuntary muscle contractions and impaired motor control while playing a musical instrument. What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
Some shit we don't want.
What is that?
Yo! Somebody better tell Zach about this shit.
Call him.
Yo, what the fuck?
What is that?
If you're a musician, have you heard of this?
Who's heard of this?
We need to fucking do something.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
We need the Surgeon General. No, we don't. We need someone else.
I was about to say, how
No, we
he's
don't.
qualified
We
to
need
handle
We need
this.
someone else. But you know what I meant. Look, this is terrible. Okay. So anyway, Chris goes on to say that they were dysfunctional, the band, and they weren't always the best of friends, and it was strained. Whoever was not in the room was getting picked on. I was the guy out of the room. I think one of those things that, from my perspective, I don't mean to speak for anybody. I think when I took the Megadeth gig, that really strained things even further. Nobody said, we don't want you to do it, or you're cheating on us. That was still the vibe. Then Megadeth won a Grammy. That pushed it further. I won a Canadian equivalent to a Grammy with the other band that I joined. Okay, there you go. What did you gain by this? What did you learn?
I learned that jealousy. They seem very jealous to me. And they also seem like they won't let him fly.
Can I tell you something? If Sepsis made it to a certain level or a certain success that required responsibility, and that was the agreement in the expectation, if we made it to a certain level of success, we wouldn't allow our band members to have a side project either.
Yeah, no.
I understand it if you're local and the schedule's open and no one's doing anything and you want to have a cover band and make some extra coin. I understand, but this is my fucking dream.
Right.
If you want to go make Grammys with Megadeth, go ahead. Fuck you.
You should
No, I'm with that. No, I'm with that.
Now I understand why
Nah.
they didn't talk to him.
Mm-mm.
'Cause you totally like fuck them over.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like if I said it at the beginning of the stream. This isn't a side project. A lot of bands, let's keep it real. A lot of musicians that we know, a lot of musicians don't have a main band or a main girlfriend. They have a lot of side projects. So what winds up happening is the member never dedicates the amount of love and investment into that one project, and then resents everyone in all the bands. He resents all the girls because he's unsatisfied. And then blames the band for being unsatisfied. You don't have a number one pick. You have not dedicated yourself to any one project, and then you resent the bands when they're not successful. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Get out of my face.
Sounds like you have some commitment
Right.
issues.
Get out of my office. We don't want you here. You're saying that you... Come on now. You can't commit to a main project.
That's some turncoat.
You got to go. You're out the gang. No, I understand. I get you've reached a level of success and there's some open time and the schedule's right. Here's another one. Danny, fans are calling for vocalist Danny Worsnop to step down from Asking Alexandria. Boogity gumps. You know.
Well, I mean, the last performance that we saw, that was pretty bad. He really let a lot of people down.
Yeah. Like I hear realistically, like, people have some very strong opinions about this band.
Yeah. Like across the board.
No, I mean like about their
spectrums.
right, about their performance. But what I'm saying is, fuck those people.
Mm.
Fuck them.
He just got to change it. He's got to turn it around, man.
And if you are one of those people, okay, that are falling for the same old tricks, then fuck you. If you're thinking, if this is your 10th AA show and your complaint is they haven't got it right, then maybe it's time to make some new decisions. Right?
You're my favorite.
Right? I'm not trying to be rude.
Yeah.
It might be one of those times we can make new decisions for ourselves. See how I do the shoulder thing? You gotta do it like that. Let's check it out. Let's see what it's about. The Ask It Alexandria subreddit has been absolute shambles since Ask It Alexandria Warped Tour performance. You know, Warped Tour?
That's still a thing. I thought that was no longer a thing.
All I know is if they wanted Warped Tour to still be a thing, they should probably take off these bands altogether and start working with some new talent.
They gotta do something new, yeah.
You know. So anyway, like, they believe that it was a subpar performance from Danny Worsnop. Hey, there's a quick cheat here, everybody. I saw the performance, so I did watch it.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
No,
I know-
they could definitely do better. Practice.
Look, local, regional, and touring bands sound just as bad.
We don't gotta set unreal expectations.
In what was a last counted over a dozen posts with a cumulative hundreds of comments, the band's subreddit was beyond impressed with Worsnop's vocal delivery throughout the 40-minute set, as well as his appearance or lack thereof. Like, I mean, he had a hood
Just
on.
because he had a hood on doesn't mean he has to stop being a singer of Asking Alexandria.
See, now do you understand why my response?
And also, too, it just dawned on me. When he was doing those vocals and stuff, like, he's not at the same, like, age and timbre that he was when he was doing those vocals.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Like, I think the people are just being overcritical.
I'm older than Danny, and I'm singing better than I have in my whole
Right,
life.
that's what I'm saying. People are being overcritical is what I'm saying.
I mean, it has more to do with your diet, your behavior,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't know how he takes care of himself.
Right. the technique and practice. We don't know any of this
Yeah,
stuff.
we don't know what he's doing. So
You
we
know.
can't be overcritical. We can't set unreal expectations.
Thank you. I agree. That's why I wanted to read this, because I think people do this to
They do
local
this to
bands.
anybody.
Right.
If you hit the wrong note, they think you should quit music.
Right. This is me
No.
really. And I just want to point out that maybe their fans have all the right in the world to give them shit. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. What I'm saying is that there's so much of this where bands are supposed to just be beholden to the comment section.
No.
But when you dig deeper, it's like it's not information based. A lot of people talk slick, in the comments, and we're all supposed to go. I mean, this is this guy's entire life and his investment, and he's supposed to throw it away because of the Facebook comment section
No.
or the subreddit,
No.
These are just questions that I ask, So he was all decked out in the black sweats, the gloves, the black hoodie. I mean, nobody gets mad when Sleep Token does it.
Right. What's the difference?
What's the difference between Danny wearing a black hoodie and some other guy doing it? It was difficult to listen to, I will say that. After the first few tracks of their set, at what could been an all-right set turned into a straight mess. According to the footage uploaded on YouTube, it sounds like sometimes the instruments overpowered Warsnop's vocals, and sometimes Warsnop's vocals overpowered the instrumental. That's a mixing thing.
Yeah, that's not a band thing.
That's not always a band thing. That's a person that's at the front of the house or their side mixer. Whoever's engineering the show has more to do with what you're listening to out of the speakers. Do you see my point?
Yeah.
This is messy. While fans in the YouTube comments said that he seems checked out or speculate that he's relapsed,
What?
and
that doesn't make any sense.
and maybe he is, but again, that's speculation,
Hearsay, no.
And then, I don't know. I watched the set. He was saying, a bunch of positive shit, too. That was weird.
Yeah, that's weird how they got that from that.
At best, Sam Beatley posted on the Instagram, "I'm sorry," to a fan responding, asking, is this for Warped Tour? I don't know. It seems like, to me, you know what this seems like? PR.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky said the same thing. It sounds like that would be bad mixing, and it's not always
The band.
it's not always the guys playing the music. Here's the other thing I want to tell y'all. Bands like Asking Alexandria, they use really heavy backtracks. Okay, I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of the national and industry acts, it might break your heart to hear some of the names. But now in 2025, I want to say the majority of, national hard rock, acts, they use backtracks. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm just telling you. So that's why it has more to do with the mixing. I think when I say Spirit Box uses backtracks, or Asking Alexandria uses backtracks, I think that there is an illustration that I'm throwing a jab, or that it's somehow negative that people use backtracks. And I just want to say, for the millionth time, unequivocally, just because we don't use backtracks doesn't mean that we think it's bad when somebody else does.
We've made plenty of podcasts describing this very thing.
So when we talk about backtracks, when any band that doesn't use backtracks talks about backtracks, there's an illustration that there's something negative going on. But I want to state, we love Asking Alexandria, like a lot of bands that use backtracks, and they sound better with backtracks. The issue is there food done? Thank you. The issue is that when you're using backtracks, sometimes you can be vulnerable to the guy mixing the music. not the band on stage. There's a lot more to do. That if you have backtracks and computers and electronics and triggers and MIDI and you have all these electronic things happen, then you can't blame the fucking living, breathing, bleeding human beings.
Real shit.
I'm
It's not their
telling you.
fault.
I'm telling you. Did you want to get a Did you want to go get a taco? You could go get a taco.
I was gonna say I was gonna wait till after the program.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mad at you if you did that. So we're supposed to be having dinner right now, everybody. But look, it doesn't matter so much. It's not a big deal like that, everyone. All right, here we are again, everybody. The United Kingdom official considers canceling Marilyn Manson shows over past sexual assault allegations. Whew, boy, oh boy.
They're just now doing that.
So let's get this going on. In the latest news coming out of the UK, courtesy of the BBC, the city's local council recently issued a statement about the Beautiful People singer Marilyn Manson and his upcoming show in the area. For years now, Manson has been the subject of continued sexual assault allegations and high-profile legal battles. Most of the issues have been either dropped or settled out of court. Let me repeat that, because I know some of you guys like to hear parts. Most of the issues have been either dropped or they've been dropped or settled out of court. But the mere fact that he was accused has the UK council leader Millie Earle to urge that the show be cancelled. Okay? Quote, I don't feel Marilyn Manson reflects the values that we have in BCP, and we have been doing a lot of work around things like the white ribbon accreditation scheme, which helps men and boys change negative, damaging behaviors. Earle said the push to have the show canceled was an attempt to reinforce the message that violence against women and girls isn't something that's acceptable in their community. Though she admitted that the decision to nix the show wasn't entirely hers to make, she said she spoke with the venue owners about her concerns. Okay, let's get to this so we can understand the way the court process works, okay?
Okay.
The Los Angeles District County Attorney, Nathan Hochman, decided, this is the people prosecuting again for the allegations. So the women made allegations, the prosecutor measured the evidence in the details, okay? Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman decided the statute of limitations had expired and that there wasn't enough evidence to land a conviction back in January. It's important to note, for clarity's sake, that the decision to drop the investigation doesn't mean that Manson is innocent.
Thank you, someone, for finally saying that.
So if I was convicted of rape, if multiple women accused me of sexually assaulting them, do you think that people would hire my black ass to play guitar on stage?
No.
And that's what the issue is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue, everybody.
Doing the right thing.
Now, I'm going to try to get down to this. I'm not the prosecutor. I've said this a million times when it comes to sex offenders. We can't kill them all. But let's get this clear. Because you guys know how I feel about pedophiles and sex offenders, especially in rock and heavy metal. From Jerry Lee Lewis to Marilyn Manson himself to Puff Daddy to any of these guys, powerful men, to our president himself. Sex offenders, abusers, criminals that commit sex offenses, and powerful men that abuse women and children. Okay? You know how I feel about it. We don't tolerate it. And we don't tolerate it because you wouldn't tolerate one sitting on your porch. You wouldn't tolerate one putting on a puppet show for your daughter. If there was an alleged sex offender in your home, you wouldn't eat at the table with them, even if they were alleged. So that's why when it comes to politicians, celebrities, and rock stars that are alleged sex offenders, we don't allow them to eat at the table either. Elvis Presley's another one.
Real shit.
Elvis Presley's another one. And so is Mike Tyson, and so is Tupac Shakur, and so are all the sex offenders in rock and roll and rap music. Why do we walk on eggshells for sex offenders? Donald Trump's a sex offender. We don't walk on eggshells for sex offenders. You do, but we don't. You do, but I won't. I'm not the police. I'm not a prosecutor. However, I did 17 years behind bars. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. And I don't even give a fuck about politics. Because raping little girls and beating up bitches and hurting fucking women and hurting weak people is something we just don't do. We don't need anybody's permission. We don't need the Republicans or the Democrats to give us permission to believe that. We don't need the law. We don't need Jesus. We don't need nobody to tell us that fucking kids is a terrible idea. So, to those of you that are alleged abusers, you're not welcome to eat at the table with me. I'm not the police and I'm not a prosecutor. As many times as Marilyn Manson has been accused, investigated, or settled cases related to him abusing women, I wouldn't hire any alleged sex offender at a daycare or a Dollar Tree. I wouldn't hire an alleged sex offender at Dunkin' Donuts, let alone to be the fucking president.
Real shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You guys are different men.
That's messed up.
Y'all some different men than me.
Definitely.
I wouldn't hire people are like, but he wasn't convicted. That doesn't matter when it's African Americans. Nobody gives a fuck.
Right. Same thing.
So what? When African Americans are thrown in jail overnight and can't make bail, they go, I'm saying, hey, he's not convicted of a crime yet. People don't give a shit.
Nope, they want to keep him in jail.
Right. So for me, it's not a matter of Republicans or Democrats or this or that or whatever aisle you're on or Marilyn Manson or wherever you like rock and roll or rap music. There's no picking and choosing our favorite sex offenders. No.
No, that's gross.
Not to win a talking point, not to win an argument.
No, it's gross.
Not in the name of politics or rock and roll. We don't fuck with sex offenders.
Never.
We don't fuck with women abusers. We don't fuck with rats and snitches and pedophiles. You might. And if you're on the right team, you might play with them. But I don't give a fuck whose team they're on. It doesn't matter which color they are or how tall they are.
Nope.
Let's keep in mind, too, Manson still agreed to pay off Rachel Wood. Let's remember that. He agreed to drop the lawsuit against her. And he agreed to pay her lawyers. He covered her lawyer fees.
Yep.
If your next door neighbor was accused of a heinous crime like abuse or a sex offense, you wouldn't consider putting him on stage. So what makes him any different? If your next door neighbor was accused of sexual assault, would you vote for him for town council?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with these dudes?
They're fucking backwards.
Anyway. And so, I would never personally platform. I would never support. I would never advertise. I would never let an alleged sex offender eat at my table. I don't give a fuck about the law. All of that shit, all of your beliefs, all of the morals, all the things that make you good goes out the motherfucking window when you're faced with survival or you're in a courtroom. So what? He escaped the courtroom. That seems to be the going price for, adjudicated sex offenders. And so I would never platform even an alleged sex offender. Why risk it? Proving your loyalty to an alleged sex offender?
Ew.
Why do these boys pledge loyalty to alleged sex offenders in politics and rock and roll? They pledge their loyalty to alleged sex offenders in politics that they've never even met before. Okay? Why should we always listen to women when they come forward with allegations or stories about abuse, regardless of the truth or accuracy in detail? Because that's what they say, right? That these bitches are money-grubbing bitches and they're all out and they're powerful men and these girls are just playing victim. That's always the defense.
That's not true.
So, doesn't matter if it's true or not, and I'm going to show you why. Why shouldn't we listen to women when they come forward with lies about allegations of abuse? Should we listen to women that lie about abuse? Should we listen to it?
If they're lying.
What if they're telling the truth? Should we listen to it?
Yeah.
Here we go for all the geniuses in the comment section. Should we listen to women when they are lying about sexual abuse? Yes or no? Hope you don't have any daughters. Or should we be listening to them only when they tell the truth? Go ahead. I double dare you to answer the wrong thing. Oh, it's a trick question. For tricks. For men understand this easily. It doesn't matter if women are lying or they're telling the truth about sexual abuse. You should always listen to women if they come to you with allegations about sexual abuse. Whether or not you determine or think that they're lying or not doesn't depend on a man. It depends on an expert.
You have to be an expert to figure it out.
Right. That's why we want women that lie about rape and abuse should continue to lie about it so experts can measure and determine the truth.
Real shit.
Women should always be encouraged to come forward sharing their experience if they believe that they have been abused, regardless of the truth or accuracy of the details. Perverts need a constant supply of victims that won't report it. We have to listen to them and find out the facts, whether they're lying or not. Ricky understands this because he's a fucking human being and a father. He's going to understand this. Women should always be encouraged to come forward sharing their experiences if they believe, even for a second, that they've been abused. Because fucking perverts need a constant supply of scared little girls that won't report it. Girls that are scared of being called a liar. This types of abuse, this type of activity depends on confusion, it depends on bullying, it depends on deception to hide long-term plans that abusers have. Guys, wake up. If you believe someone is hurting you, then report it.
Always.
It
Always
doesn't
report
matter
it.
if some strong, cool, handsome guy calls you a liar. So what?
Report it.
Let the detectives get down to that.
The expert.
Yeah, experts are going to handle the rest. If there is no wrongdoing, if the girl's not lying, the investigation will show this and reinforce the innocence of the person being accused. So I say, innocent men do not pay their accusers attorney fees. Innocent men don't settle out in court. I don't know one guy in the world that would be accused of rape or sexual assault and then settle out of court if it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's an investigation and they can determine whether there's enough evidence to move forward and there's no technicalities, a court can determine the facts of guilt through observational evidence, with the evaluation and the process of ruling made publicly. When you settle out, it can be private. The details can be private.
That's why they usually settle out.
I'm trying to teach these motherfuckers about the
Mhm.
law in court.
And that's why I'm reinforcing your point. Saying that's why most of them will settle out in court.
My opinion.
That's a big key. Right
Yeah,
there.
my
They
opinion.
settled it out in court. That should be a huge fucking key.
Okay. This way, any lying on any side, okay, false accusations or truths can be established in an organized fact-finding process in a court in front of a jury that we can all see publicly. See how I'm making these ridiculous hand movements? Regardless, people who believe that they have been abused should be encouraged to not hide it. Let the experts determine guilt within the rule of law. Tesla's stock plummets as company abruptly halts production of Cybertruck. Is anybody surprised?
No. This surprises me zero. This is what happens when you do bad.
Well, yeah.
And when you don't know what you're doing.
Before we get into this, okay, I know a lot of guys think that Elon Musk is some sort of evil genius inventor, but the only thing that I've ever heard him doing is hijacking intelligent people's ideas and then claiming them as his own. So this is what I have to say about Elon Musk and his brazen gang signs. If Elon Musk is planning to make rockets so he can colonize other planets, then my response to that is, what the fuck can we do to get him there faster?
Definitely. We gotta work together on this one.
Let's all start a GoFundMe to get him the fuck out of here. Let's all together start a GoFundMe, because I would personally work for free. I would work free labor just so I can get Elon's little ass on that rocket and get him up to Mars as soon as we possibly fucking can.
The sooner the better.
What the fuck is holding us back? Let's get him the fuck out of here.
Zuckerberg, though.
Nobody's going to stand in his way.
No.
They said that Elon Musk wants to go to another planet and colonize it, like Christopher Columbus. I say,
Go right ahead.
let's hurry him. What can we do to get it faster?
What's the plan for that?
Look, you know me. I hate doing manual labor. Give me a shovel. Give me a shovel, and I will work my ass off every day, full time, if it means we can put Elon Musk on another planet.
Definitely.
Yeesh. I don't even have anything to say else about it.
One-way ticket.
Gosh. Chat BBGB.
Too many fucking codes.
I'm starting to talk in code.
I'm so tired of this whole code thing.
Chat GB.
GPT.
Get Back Gang, GBG.
Sounds like a code.
Does. Sounds like some drill rap.
Right.
Get your GBG, heebie, heebie.
Ay.
Okay, as Chat GPT's link to mental health breakdowns, Mattel announces plans to incorporate it into children's toys. Why not, right?
What the fuck?
Ricky says Elon buys ideas. He doesn't make them.
Hey. Say that louder for the people.
No, he's right,
back.
He's right.
Facts.
That's observationally accurate.
Yeah.
Name one fucking thing that Elon Musk has invented that's saved us money, helped the environment, got us to work any faster. Seriously,
Nothing.
what type of inventions what type of inventions under Elon Musk or any of his companies have made your life any better?
None.
Even all the shit we have around us hasn't made our lives any better.
No, almost got ran over by a fucking Tesla.
The internet hasn't made our lives any better or easier. We're not having any more fun. We're not any healthier. We're not any happier. AI hasn't made us closer. We're not better at romance or music. We can't count any better. Motherfuckers is still poor. We haven't cured homelessness with Bluetooth.
Not everyone has
Right.
solar panels.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Or can afford
What
them.
the fuck good is a solar panel if only rich people can get one?
None.
So fuck that shit. Fuck solar panels.
Right. Set those on fire.
We have a solar panel. It's called
bring
the
the
solar
solar
sun.
Right. Bring the solar panels and the Teslas up to Mars with you.
Right.
Get it all out of here.
Jeez. And what do we know about colonization anyway? It's never been good.
No, people die.
What? Anytime we've colonized anything, brown people pay for it.
Yeah. And then
Chill
die.
out.
And then die.
Right, stop.
This is ridiculous.
No, anytime I hear we're going to colonize something, I get scared for me and all my brown friends. Relax.
Right.
We're exhausted. The last
Yeah.
500 years.
It's too. No.
Right, just chill.
Right.
No more colonizing for a
No.
while.
That shouldn't. No.
God damn. Anyway, that's all I had to say about that. So this doesn't surprise me. Hey kids, ready to invoke the rich tapestry of human experience with your favorite toys by harnessing the power of artificial intelligence?
That doesn't sound like fun.
Mattel, the maker of Barbie dolls and Hot Wheels cars, has inked a deal with OpenAI to use its AI tools not only to help design toys, but power them. I need to fucking power your kids, huh?
That's fucking creepy. They're
Yeah.
gonna do some weird shit to the Barbie.
Yeah, that's crazy. Details are scant, but at this point, in a joint interview, Mattel's chief franchise officer, John Silverman, and OpenAI chief operating officer, Brad Lightcap, said the collab is at its early stages and declined to comment on what the fuck the product would actually be.
Because they don't even know what
They
it
don't
will
even
actually
know.
be.
What are they doing?
This is just ideas. This is just brainstorming.
What are they
Two
fucking-
guys getting drunk at the fucking room.
Man, fuck this shit.
This is whack.
Ugh. It's so ugly.
This is terrible. Why report on something that isn't fully completed? This is pollution.
Scientists have studied remote work for 4 years, have reached a clear conclusion that working from home makes us happier.
Woo!
Put
Fuck
a-
yeah, science.
Put a 1 in the chat if you work from home.
1.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yee-haw.
I work from home
1.
because I'm tired. Right, because I'm tired of fucking police brutality. I'm tired of fucking crime. That's why I work at home. Racism. That's another one.
Prejudice.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Sexism.
Yes, I'm tired of the way that I'm treated
Yeah.
based on the way that I sound and the way that I look when I leave the house.
You're treated like a fucking animal.
So that's why I like working at home, because people can't see my skin color, they can't see my hair. That's why I like it.
We're happier.
We're happier. Let's check it out. Scientists have spent 4 years diving deep into the world of remote work and stumbled upon a powerful truth. Working from home genuinely makes us happier as millions shifted to teleworking after the lockdowns. What became a forced experiment slowly revealed life-changing benefits far beyond what anyone has expected. So if you guys know me, you guys know I've been working from home for 15 years though. And that's just because most of the physical storefronts that I work at, that I would be available or qualified to work in, they don't accept like assertive or like people that are outspoken. Like you can't work at a restaurant, learn all the rules, want to do things the right way. You have to learn all of the rules and then like figure out what's the secret ones that all of the staff members break. I think that's why we've had problems hiring here before, is because people think this is a traditional job, and then when they show up here, we hold people accountable beyond the law.
Beyond their actual job.
Right, beyond it, right. Working for us, working here at Sepsis, you don't work for the police or society. You work for me.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yep. One of the first perks remote workers notice is a gift of extra time. It's true. Those daily trips just don't eat away at your schedule anymore, pile on stress or fatigue you, and reduce your mental health. The study found that eliminating or reducing this travel means 30 extra minutes every day for nightly sleep for remote workers. That sounds small, but it adds up to thousands of restful hours during the year. Oh my God. Like I couldn't, honestly.
It's so much better.
Alongside better sleep, participants noticed subtle but important shift in serenity. While some did turn out little more wine or beer initially, the overall trend was clear. Fewer stressful journeys meant less emotional drain. The improvement in mental health wasn't fleeting either. It grew stronger over time. I mean, we could just go on and on about this. What are some of the benefits maybe that you have seen from working from home, Lex? Even in the past or now or other time?
I get injured and sick a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to work a standard job, I wouldn't be allowed the time or the care.
Can I tell you something?
For stuff like
The United
that.
States doesn't have a standard. Their standard is $7 an hour, and that's not a standard that we can have anymore. So a standard job, there's no. I know what you meant, but you
job that
can't.
isn't a
You can't
stay-at-home
have a
job.
standard for a society that has no standards for you.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
they don't have. They don't.
What I mean is like
You can't. Like
a
you
job
can't.
that's not a stay-at-home job.
No, I
is
know.
standard.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. The problem with a lot of the corporate jobs and franchise jobs, if they've set standards that are unreasonable, because
Yeah.
they're standards that they won't follow themselves.
Yeah, like if we get sick, like I get sick a lot. I get injured a lot.
But they
So
won't
if I
respect
worked at
that.
a regular job, they would be like, fuck you, you're gonna have to come into work anyway. Whereas if I stay at home job, I could take a couple.
Yo, Scott,
Take my time.
I apologize, my brother. This was a secret kind of last minute deal because it's been so hot. We decided to do the show early today because by 7 o'clock, you can't even breathe in here. You really can't. It's so hot. And I'm gonna have to wrap it now. It's sad. But I love you, bro. Hopefully I get to see you soon. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you this year at Swarmy Fest. We're going to be working really hard at having a really special stage performance for the next few shows. Are going to be awesome. Working on just new choreography, new music. We got new music coming out. Thank you for everybody for supporting our shows, for supporting the live streams and the band, to everybody that spends time with us. Rick, thanks for being a part of the chat. Thank you also, Hans and Scott. It's all good, brother. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back Wednesday, as usual, as we transition to our new podcast. It will be soon. I don't think this is the last one of this kind, but as we draw near, prepare for our new podcast, and looking forward to more show announcements and new music. And a new music video. Come on, Hans, let's go. I'll see you guys next week on William vs. the World.